Kellen, this is a conversation that you and I are actively in, so I'm not going to give all the details, but Bryson and his golf ball. So I'm gonna say this. This is my hot take, and you and I know Bryson pretty well. So it's a getting involved in conversations with Bryson is for gear people it's exciting, but it's at the same time it's a thing. Um, I'm of the opinion, this is just me, that he needs a because what he's describing in his press conferences is I need a ball that doesn't curve as much, and I need a ball that launches low. So I'm of the opinion that he needs like a chrome soft that goes low, essentially. Like that's kind of the plat. Like he's looking more consumer based golf balls that are forgiving left to right, right to left, because he's going to spin every golf ball out there a ton. Where, without giving too much intel, but like where do you sit on like what he's looking for? And on top of that, as somebody that knows his bag pretty well, how much are these bulge and roll irons coming into play in this whole scenario? And it's the nature of his irons. They're upright. They're the whole thing. Like where do you sit on this so far?
Well, you kind of froze out there on the first part of the question, but I'm pretty sure I can determine what you were trying to ask. The golf ball thing. He is essentially what he's looking for is something that will launch lower with the shorter end. They're all 37 inches. He's looking for something that will launch much lower and spin the same pretty much at the bottom end of his bag. And then also he can take advantage of every course with his length and his speed and still kind of get the same apex height with, I mean, essentially every club in your bag should hit the same apex height. But I do believe that I don't think they're launching low enough for him. And I think that when it comes to a windy day, I think there is a decay of accuracy for him because of the speeds that he's creating and how high he hits the ball. So he is asking for kind of like the Goldilocks of golf balls. And I'm not, in my professional opinion, I don't know if there is one that would be suitable for him right now. As we sit here today, I don't think there is one that he's going to fall in love with unless he makes, I wouldn't say wholesale changes, but a couple changes that would mitigate what he's seeing. And whether that be equipment or swing, I don't think, I think he's, in my opinion, I think he's very close to being one of the, like, he's going to be at the top of a leaderboard in a major for the next 5 to 10 years. I really think that he's that great with pretty much throughout the bag. I think he's looking for one little last piece, and that's something that doesn't exist at this point. So I'm not going to I know you want me to say what I think he should be playing, but I really don't think there is that thing that he can maintain height on driver, 3-wood, 5-wood, and then the long irons, and then launch the ball considerably lower with the wedges. I think if I would step back and look at it from my angle, I would say that the wedge shafts need to change first of all. I think he's still in the LA golf stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't see I would rather see for him, I would probably, I'd rather see something where the handle is so soft that the dynamic loft of those wedges goes down, 3 to 5 degrees or something. That would make, that would make it the best possible way. And I think that's a discussion that he can have with his affiliation with LA Golf too, is do we need to develop something that, I don't need to change anything swing mechanic wise, and I can see a different launch angle whilst maintaining the same spin that I'm seeing. I really think that's the first question that he should be asking.
So I wasn't looking for a golf ball recommendation per se. Like you kind of answered my question.
Well, you broke up. You broke up when you were talking before. I didn't catch all of it. So
Oh,
It's okay.
okay. So like the tough thing the tough thing with Bryson is that he's got fixed variables that he's just not willing to change yet, right? Like his bag makeup, the loss of his irons, the bull. I mean, the whole thing. So like the great thing about Bryson and the tough thing with Bryson is the fact that he's got these variables that are non-negotiable. So when you just said that about switching the wedge shafts was when we were talking to him a month and a half ago. Was my first idea is like, well, you play these basically Ventus Black Plus in every iron shaft that you have because that's essentially what they are. They're boardy all the way through. Is what you know as the swing gets slower, the stiffer it is, the ball's going to want to go higher because dynamic loft increases, right? Like I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you swing; it's math. So creating some softness somewhere in his bag would be the first thing. And I think Kellen, I think you actually kind of said that to me on the phone. It's like, well, I don't, I think there's a wedge shaft thing that, or a short iron shaft thing that might help out. But it's an interesting thing. It's going to be an interesting thing to kind of track because essentially what you are saying is it. What I think the same thing too is that he is looking for a unicorn ball. But I do agree also that if he can figure that out, he's probably the closest thing to a robot as far as accuracy is concerned that we would see. Scotty's a robot for different reasons, but Bryson, because of the way that he plays golf, it literally is the closest thing to point and shoot if he feels like he can control the golf ball.